Welcome, guys, to another episode of It's in You. This is your guy, Jermaine, and I am back with part 2 of my personal development. And so today I'm so excited to talk to you about my personal development. So, this is a continuation of part 1. And so, remember the last time when we were talking about my personal development? You remember, I started out with my parents, giving birth to me, and I ended out after I left high school. I was graduated with honors and collecting a lot of gifts and trophies and you name it. And, myself, my families, and friends were excited and was so happy for me at the moment. But remember, at one point in time, I told you that I did my examination and they were not CSEC, they were GCE examination. And so those subjects, they were chosen by my teachers, not by me, but whatever. But in our culture, that's how they do it. So yes, guys, so I end up failing all of those subjects. And remember, I was telling you, I was preparing my mind mentally, emotionally, and physically, getting myself ready to go to college or university, quote unquote. And so it did not work out for me that year. It didn't. Because remember, I graduated from high school 1996. I can clearly remember. And that was one of the best time of my life. I have a good time. I have a great relationship with the principal at Spalding High School. I have great relationship with the students there because I was a part of the student body counselor and I was prefect at the same time, and a lot of other stuff. I can't remember the names, but I was wearing like about 4 or 5 badges on my shirt. And so, guys, yes, so fail all of those subjects. And so think about it. So, did I give up? No, I didn't give up. I didn't. Because German not going to give up. Because he's a fighter, right? You already know that. So, that is why I'm here today to continue that part of the conversation, of my personal development. And so I'm going to pick up back from when I failed all my subjects and I had to pick up the pieces and continue from there. Now, remember, after I finished high school, now my parents, they didn't have it at the time to pay for me, excuse me, to go back to continuing education, to go back to evening classes, they would say in Jamaica. So you could either um, go to the school that you have just graduated from, or you could go to a private institution to continue with your education. And so, as I said, I didn't give up because I knew it was not the end of the world. And I tell myself, I said, you know what? Every disappointment is for an appointment. And so, because of that quote unquote disappointment, I was getting ready for the appointment. And so, the appointment was to continue with my education. And so, I have to start thinking at the moment, what am I going to do? How am I going to financially help myself to continue with this education? And so before I left high school, I did my work experience at this restaurant back home. And before I get into that, I didn't tell you guys what I focus on at school. So I focus on food and beverage and home management. And beyond that, I have done um, electronic and woodwork cabinet making at the time, where they taught you how to make furnitures and stuff like that. Yes. So back to my work experience. So after I leave high school and found out that I failed all my subjects, now I have to pick up the pieces. So I start thinking, how am I going to do it financially? Because now I cannot think about college at the moment. I need to get those subjects in order to enroll into college. And so uh the place that I did my work experience, they liked me there. And they said to me, you know what? we want you to work after you leave high school. And so after I graduated, I told them that I would think about it. So when I got my result and I realized that I had was to pick up the pieces and move on again and trying to get my subjects to go to college, I said, you know what, I'm going to take the opportunity and you know accept that job offer and then work and send myself back to school. And so guys, that's how my personal development continued on. So I worked for that company maybe, I would say, a year or more. And uh, while working for that company, I still didn't started back school, because at that point in time I was more, even though I well wanted to go back to school, but I was more focused on my families, on my siblings, on my parents, like, because I think my mom at the time was trying to, they already had a property and so they were trying to build their own home. And so I was kind of caught up and excited and motivated at the time, because we were in rent house at the time and my parents, they were eager to get their house done, to build their own. And so I remember they had a piece of property at that the time, and so they started buying materials and stuff and dropping on the property. And I get so motivated, and so I say, you know what, let me just pause my education for the time and work and kind of help them through this process till they at least get into the house or the first floor of the house. And so guys, I did that for a couple of years along with my other siblings. We pulled together, we worked together, and we help our parents to get into the first part of the structure of the house. So we were so excited. You can imagine you're in a rent house for years and you watch your parents growing up and struggle with you and fighting with you in a rent house and have to take care of you, food, clothes, everything, and all the other expenses. Not easy. So I honor them today for doing that for us, making sure that there was a roof over our head. And my mom always said that, listen guys, I need to get a roof over your head, I need to come out of the rent house. And she was very motivated in doing that, and she would work so hard. And so that is why when I see how hard they were working, I said, you know what, let me jump in and help out a little bit so that they could go through that process of our life, because it's not all about them, it's all about us as a family. And so after that, couple of years I worked, and then I remember my last job before I went to college or university, it was Burger King. So yes, I was working for the big brand Burger King. Yes, guys. So you must be thinking, I ate a lot of burgers and a lot of what they call it, pies and French fries and you name it. But no, guys, no, I wasn't like that. I was a conscious person when it comes to my health. I was so health conscious from a little child, and I pick and choose what to eat. So I was very peculiar when I was working at, in the fast food industry. And so, yes, guys, long and short story. So I started working with Burger King. I think it was 2011. I remember clearly. And while I was working there, that was the time I decided that I wanted to go back to continue my education. So that was like a couple of years. Well, that was like shortly before I reached 30 or 30 plus. Maybe I was 30 plus that time. But I remember clearly I took a while though, because I was working for a while and trying to do other stuff. And so at that point in time of my life, I remember I told myself, I said, this is the time. This is the moment. I know I'm ready to go back to school. I know I'm ready to get those subjects. And so 2011 is when I decided to work full time, pay for my tuition, and continue to do my education. And when I say continue my education, I needed 5 subjects at least at the time to enroll in college, to enroll in university. At the time, I have a passion to enroll in Northern Caribbean University. A lot of you know Northern Caribbean University. A lot of my schoolmates, my colleagues who are watching, are tuning in. You already know we had a good time at Northern Caribbean University, and so yes, so that is where I reach at the point with my personal development. And so, guys, please look out for part 3 of this video. My personal development. I'm not going to keep you long, but I will be back to continue how I got those subjects and how I enrolled in university and what I did at university. Love you all and have a wonderful day. Have a productive day, guys. Love you and thank you for your continued support.